In 1927, Philo Farnsworth invented the television, and since then it has grown massively in terms of popularity and its impact in submersion into American culture and society. However, in recent years it has been found that watching television has negative effects on the development of children, and therefore the TV industry needs to be reformed as a result to make it less easy for children to access television shows which could be harmful to them. The current trend of television programming in our society has been shifting further and further towards content with increasing violence, over-sexualized content, and geopolitical conflicts and stereotypes that may or may not be true but are simply shown on television for their entertainment and shock value. So the restrictions on when and what channels that many TV shows are played on need to be increased in order to protect the interest of children and future of our society. So work by Cal Bandura and Kyla Boyce, for example, a couple of psychologists, have shown that television could have harmful effects on children in their growth and development based on what they see. So looking at these reasons of how television can harm children, as well as proposing solutions to this problem, I could show that the TV industry really needs to be reformed for the better, not only for the TV industry itself, but also for future generations of American citizens. So the problem is that the way that current television industry works is that networks produce television shows that are just broadcasted to basic cable, and there are also smaller networks such as the bigger networks would include CBS and NBC, for example, and smaller networks would include like TNT or TBS, which would show television shows as well. All of these networks, though, all their shows are readily available to any children or any person, for that matter, who just picks up a channel clicker and turns on a TV and can flick to any channel at any given time. And many of these TV shows are really, really inappropriate and could have harmful effects to children, but are not monitored in any way. So this is an example of this would be a show such as Two and a Half Men, which is finishing up this year, but was broadcasted on CBS for 11 to 12 seasons, and really this show, this show really relied on pleasing the adult, the adult demographic, and used content such as sexual innuendos and stereotypes about certain ethnic groups as well as certain sexual preferences. And it is a show that was always on TV, being showed every Monday night on CBS, but also being showed on smaller networks such as FX and for a brief stint a few years ago on TBS throughout the day. So at any point in time, a child could come home and turn it on and watch this show. And although it is funny and not too harmful for grown-ups, for a young child, they can easily get the wrong idea from certain shows like that. Which has been proven to be true by psychologists Alfred Bandura and Kyla Boyce. So Bandura's study in 1965 was one of a landmark study on the impressionability of children, and found that children's aggressive acts were partially influenced by what they observed. So in his study, Bandura had a group of children watch a TV video of a model who kicked and punished an inflatable plastic doll. So after this viewing, the children were placed in a playroom with other children who had not seen this video, and he observed that those that saw the video were significantly more aggressive and in their behavior than those who did not see the video. So Bandura, as well as Kyla Boyce, who conducted a similar study 20 years after Alfred Bandura's in 1965, they have found that the impressionability of children is directly correlated to what they observe. So for a child to come home and turn on the TV and easily see a show such as Two and a Half Men, and really take away certain stereotypes and certain mannerisms in that show, which may not be appropriate to children, they can really learn from that, and their behavior as a result, not only immediately but growing up, could definitely be changed by that. A Nielsen study taken in 2006 also found that children under the age of 8 watch on average 20 to 24 hours of television a week. So you can see that a child could easily come home from school and can easily come home from school and just flick on the TV and see a show that could negatively impact their development. So the solution is that instead of having massive networks which produce television shows that are more geared towards adults and readily available to children, a solution that I propose would be for private online websites such as Netflix and Amazon to continue what they're doing, and for others to adopt that model and produce their own TV shows which are available to customers who subscribe to them. So for example, House of Cards is a wildly popular show which is produced by Netflix, which is an online streaming television and movie company. So House of Cards is, if anyone is familiar with it, it is a little bit inappropriate for children, obviously, with the violence and murder and sexual content. But that's okay because it is not readily available for children. Like, they can't just turn it on a TV and access a show such as this. But instead, a parent would have to purchase Netflix and 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 log in with a password, and that would be how whoever was using that account would watch that show. So if more networks, or if more companies such as Netflix and Amazon, who is also producing their own TV shows now, employ this method, not only would shows become more protected from being viewed by people who should not view it, but but the TV industry would also evolve, where television shows would be more accessible via streaming through the online web versus having to physically sit and find a TV and watch a show at a certain time. So, for example, House of Cards being shown on Netflix, anyone with a phone, a laptop, a tablet, or a television can access and watch this TV show at any time as long as they have a subscription to Netflix. So if the TV industry shifts towards this online streaming kind of model where viewers pay for subscriptions and then watch TV shows at their time of choosing, not only would this really help viewers in terms of watching more TV shows when they want to watch TV shows, but it would also protect the interests of children, where a child can't just come home from school and turn on the TV and see a show where someone is being brutally injured, or a stereotype is grossly shown that could have an effect on their mindset and the way that they see the world. So the benefits of changing the TV industry are great enough that we should really take it seriously. The potential effects on the future of generations of our country could be wildly positive. If you look at the two links that are attached in this document, you'll see that subscribers to Netflix and TV channels are shown. And since 2007, when Netflix really was established and taken off, the growth of Netflix has grown an incredible amount, where it is growing at a much faster rate than a network cable such as Showtime or HBO in terms of subscribers. It is growing not only at a much faster rate, but is almost at a level where it is surpassing the amount of subscribers and viewers to channels such as Showtime and HBO. So really, what this tells us is that it will not be very hard for the TV industry to switch to a system where a company such as Netflix or Amazon can produce a TV show and allow streaming online to occur for members, rather than just being shown on public television that is available to anyone who owns a TV and basic cable. And if you look at the second graph, it's titled "Netflix is almost as popular as cable among young adults," and this graph really breaks down the age demographic of TV viewers and Netflix subscribers, and it's really showing that in the next couple of years, younger people are watching Netflix more than they are watching TV, which again is just a perfect example that this will not be hard to change, and it seems as if society and the TV industry is trending this way anyways. So there's really no reason for this change to not happen, which would not only benefit the TV industry, but also add another gatekeeper to who is watching the television shows and protecting the interests of younger children who might be impacted by these TV shows. So again, the benefits of the TV industry being reformed are great enough that we should really take it seriously, where the positive effects are grossly outweigh the work that would need to be put in. The negative effects that television can have on our children are big enough reasons for us to reform the way that the current television programming operates. The work by Alfred Bandura as well as Kyle Boyce and just their studies over the years are really proof enough that we should really monitor what our kids watch, as what they observe has a wide impact on the way that they act. So should we continue to let over-violence and sexuality rule the TV screen and allow the effects on our children will be seen through coming generations? No, we should not. So really, as a result, the TV industry needs to be reformed for this reason.